Hello everybody, welcome back. I am going to attempt a playthrough on Dracula's Curse with Alucard today. I have a playthrough on my channel already of my playthrough with Sypha. And as I explained in that video, the playthrough with Alucard is a bit tougher. The game is a little longer and a little more difficult. So I am using the 10 extra lives, or the 10 lives code, which is help me. If you enter your name as help me, it will start you off with 10 lives, and trust me, you're going to need every one of those lives and probably more with this game. It is very difficult. I would advise, if you are first starting out playing this game and you are just learning about it, to not to attempt to get Alucard or Grant. I would say to get Sypha. The game is still very difficult even with Sypha, but her magic is very powerful and it does make the game a little easier, especially on some of the boss battles, excuse me. So just making my way up and getting these bats. This is one of my all-time favorite games. I love the Castlevania series, and Dracula's Curse is one of the best in the series, in my opinion. The ability to acquire other playable characters is not something that's available to do in many of the Castlevania games, especially the older classic ones, which I do prefer. The older classic ones, pre-Symphony of the Night. Symphony of the Night is, of course, when the series went full-blown Metroidvania style. I just prefer the old school run and gun, or in this case run and whip style gameplay. The RPG elements that were introduced in Symphony of the Night. Symphony of the Night is a great game, and speaking of Metroidvania, I actually prefer Aria of Sorrow over Symphony of the Night. I know that's a bit of a controversial statement, but I stand by it. The RPG elements that are available in those games, the leveling up and everything, it's just it's fine if you prefer that style of gameplay, but I just prefer the classic style of Castlevania. And it sort of ended with Rondo of Blood. And after Rondo of Blood is when it went full-blown Metroidvania. And it stayed that way for most of the series. We haven't gotten a new Castlevania game since Lords of Shadow 2, which I personally love the Lords of Shadow series, especially the revamp of the lore of Castlevania, making Dracula Belmont and all that, and a playable character and sort of an anti-hero is something I really loved about Rondo of Blood, or excuse me, Lords of Shadow. Lords of Shadow has a very in-depth story, and that's one reason I love it. So we have the holy water, which we're going to need for the boss of this level, and I have the double shot. As I explained in my previous Castlevania playthroughs, if you want to get the double shot and then the triple shot, what you need to do, or excuse me, to get them to appear more frequently, what you need to do is you need to throw your sub-weapons at the candles, like that. And it will get the double shot and the triple shot to appear much more frequently. And as you can see, the double shot with the holy water takes out this level's boss pretty easily. Not much of a challenge at all. We will see this boss again later on after we have acquired Alucard, and this boss will be much tougher. So we have not seen the last of that Minotaur armor skeleton thing. Okay, so from here you don't want to take the upper path. That will lead you to the clock tower to find the other one of the other playable characters, Grant. You want to take the lower path. And there's the triple shot. So I have the triple shot now, and as you can see, I used my sub weapon on the candle to get it to appear. I will keep the holy water unless I find the cross, which I know is coming up pretty soon. There'll be a level with some giant owls that come out, and that's when I will get the cross, and I will try to keep the cross as long as I can. It's my favorite sub-weapon of the game. Some people call it a boomerang. I actually think the original NES Castlevania manual refers to it as a boomerang. Okay, here we go. Here's the part I was talking about. The cross should be right here or in the next one. Take out these owls. Ooh. I almost got the dagger. I don't want that. That is not a useless weapon, but it is not as effective as the cross or the holy water. Okay, so I got the double shot now. When you level up your sub weapons, it just makes everything makes you that much more powerful. Careful not to get hit by this red skeleton. Those cannot be destroyed. They can only be knocked down. Actually, they can be destroyed, but you have to have Sypha's ice magic to do it. And we don't have that with Trevor. There are these bone pillars. And there will be a hidden wall meat right here. We can refill our health. And we are at another path that we can take. And we want to, again, take the lower path. The higher path will take us to Sypha. This lower path will lead us to Alucard. The double shot. So now I have the double shot and the cross. These frogs leap out of nowhere. To be really careful. Be really careful not to grab that unless you don't have any sub-weapons at all. I don't recommend grabbing the dagger. There will be another wall meat to the left there, but I don't really want to go all that way and fight through those frogs and the mudmen and everything that'll come up. It's not really worth it. Plus, I could lose more health than what I gain. The axe is a pretty useful weapon. It actually will be the weapon that I use to kill Dracula at the end of the game. But until I get there, I don't want to use the axe. The holy water I don't want right now either. There's another wall meat down here. Destroy this block. And this one, and we can now refill our health. Okay, we'll have to jump in the mud here and try to avoid the... Oh, I did not see that in time, so that sucks, but... Oh, well. I have not memorized what is in each candle in this game the way I have the original Castlevania game, but So, okay, so we got the cross back now. It's good. Let's see if I can get my double shot back. I don't want the stopwatch. I don't like the stopwatch really at all. I think it's, for the most part, a pretty useless sub-weapon. I don't want that dagger. Go away. Kill that bat before it even takes flight. Same with this one. There's the double shot. Get rid of that bat. And we are at our second boss. And with the cross and the double shot, you can take care of it pretty easily. We will see that boss again later in the game too. Okay, moving on. Triple shot. Okay, so we have our cross leveled up again. It's good. The game has yet to get very difficult, but it will soon. Soon after acquiring Alucard, I think it's when the game really starts to kick it up a notch in terms of difficulty. Watch out for this acid that drops from the ceiling. If you wait here and let the acid dissolve these blocks, that candle that is directly below me actually has an extra life, but I'm already at 11 lives, so I'm just going to go on and not wait for that. But there is where you can acquire an extra life. Watch out for these little blobs. Oh. Don't want the dagger. Trying to be very careful not to grab another sub-weapon that I don't want. I want to keep what I have. I will be facing Alucard at the end of this level. Alucard is a lot very similar to Dracula in the first Castlevania game, in that he will open his cape and throw fireballs. The fight with Alucard is actually more of a test than an actual battle. He is testing Trevor to see if he is basically good enough to go along with him in fighting his father. And of course Alucard, Trevor passes the test, and they go into battle together to fight Dracula. If you've seen the Netflix animated Castlevania series, the first series, there's two series. There's one just entitled Castlevania, and then there's one called Castlevania Nocturne. The first Castlevania Netflix series is based on this game, although there is quite a bit of new material that they had to create for the animated series. There's characters that exist in that series that don't exist in this game. Basically there's very little story to this game, so a lot of that had to be created from scratch. But the basic premise of Trevor and Alucard and Sypha battling Count Dracula all comes from this game. The character of Grant was omitted altogether from the Netflix series. I'm not sure why. And I will just use the same strategy that I use against Dracula in the original Castlevania. Just throw crosses across the screen. It will hit Alucard in the head, and it should take care of him fairly quickly. Try not to take any damage. And one more will do it. Okay. And now we will be able to take Alucard along with us and change from Trevor to Alucard at any time we choose. Alucard's actually not a very useful character in terms of combat. His attack is, I don't find his attack to be very effective against most enemies, except for the Grim Reaper fight. The Grim Reaper has two forms in this game, and Alucard's attack is particularly useful against that second form. Where Alucard comes in handy is he can actually fly, turn into a bat and fly around certain areas that would otherwise take a lot longer and be more difficult. But with Alucard, you can just fly past them, and it saves you a lot of time and wear and tear. His bat form does consume hearts, so having a lot of hearts on hand is always something that you want to do. You want to do that anyway, but particularly with him, if you're going to use his bat form. And I'll change into Alucard now so I can go ahead and level up his attack. He starts out with one fireball, but he can collect these whip icons just like Trevor has, and it will upgrade to 2, and then to 3, like that. So now Alucard is fully upgraded. The only sub-weapon that Alucard can use is the stopwatch. Other than that, he does not have a sub-weapon. So I want to switch back to Trevor now because like I said, I don't particularly like Alucard's attacks. And I think just up ahead is where we will fight that boss from the first level, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so we want to go straight. We don't want to take the lower path, which leads us to the Sunken City level. And that's a pretty difficult level. If you were looking to challenge yourself, you'll definitely find it there. Okay. Get rid of that ghost. Watch out for these little fuzz balls. You cannot destroy those unless you use Sypha's ice magic, and we do not have that, so there's no way of dealing with those. You just have to avoid them. Whoa. Almost messed that up. Later Castlevania games would, if you would get a sub-weapon you didn't want, you could actually, if you picked one up by accident, the one that you already have would stay on the screen for a few extra seconds. So here's that boss again, and oh, he's almost got me. And he got me. Okay, as you can see, he's much more difficult this second time around, even with the cross and the triple shot. I had a tough time with him. So now I'm going to have to face him again, but without my cross. Which is unfortunate, but that's what happens. I'll have the dagger, but it won't be much use. Starting to wonder whether it was going to give me the whip upgrade or not. Yeah, this guy's a lot tougher the second time around. Oh man, I think I'm gonna get caught again. Yep. Okay. I'm gonna try Alucard's attack on him just to see it will be of any much more use than Trevor, but I highly doubt it. Get used to those falling blocks because you will see them a lot more later on. And I do mean a lot. Just gonna fly past this. Well, it didn't give me my fully upgraded weapon, so this is not going to bode well. No. Okay, yeah, I'm going to have to use Trevor. As I said earlier, the game's difficulty really ramps up after we acquire Alucard, and it certainly has. Okay, so we're gonna try this again with Trevor and see what happens. I really wish I had I really wish I had the holy water right now. The holy water would come in very handy against this guy, like it did earlier. Because he's going to be very difficult to handle with just my whip. There's something I forgot to grab earlier, was just the double shot. Oh, well, I almost had him. Almost. We'll get him. It's going to take me a few tries, but we'll get him. I don't really have much to say right now. This is a pretty difficult part, and I'm trying to concentrate, so I apologize for not commentating as much as I would like. Yeah, we're going to get him this time. Okay. So I found a pattern and stuck with it. Cool, moving on. We are are finally at the castle map part of the game. We will get to through these 2 underground levels, and then we will move on to the main portion of the map, which is the castle. So here's another part where Alucard will come in handy. Ordinarily, we would have to, without Alucard, we would have to ride this platform over and go over and up on the upper platform, but right there you can see I just changed into his bat form and flew up there. So, but as you can also see, his attack really isn't that powerful. So I'm going to change back to Trevor. Oh man, these guys, they're tough to deal with, and they just keep respawning. Getting low on health, but I know just up ahead there will be a wall meet, so if we can make it there and not take any more damage, we should be good to go. Oh, just as I say that, get hit by a bat. Got the cross, and just up ahead on that upper platform right there, up here, there will be a wall meet, so deal with this Axe Knight. We won't be at full health, but we'll be in a lot better shape, and it's right here. Really would like to get the double shot and the triple shot right about now. Well, I just made a big boo-boo there. Especially considering that we will be fighting a boss, the Frankenstein monster. Probably going to get the better of us than he has. Okay. This is actually the later game appearance of the Frankenstein monster. You will fight him earlier in the game if you take Sypha's path. And he's a lot easier to deal with, actually. The enemies in the later parts of the game, like right here, the bosses especially, they deal out much more damage and they can take more damage. Make sure we get that cross. Okay. I actually think that it might be better to change into Alucard and just fly over this guy, but I don't want to waste that many hearts. But I really don't want to get hit, and I already have. Okay, I can't do that. So I'm going to have to time this in a way where I can get it here. Yeah, well, I'll try to deal with these fireballs. Okay, let's try this again. If you go up here, the blocks that he causes to fall from the ceiling can't hit you, but the ones that he throws actually still can, so you'd be safe up here from the ones that fall, but as you can see, the ones that he throws, they can still hit you. Try to be a little more patient here. A little more patient, and we finally got him. Okay. Now moving on to one of the more difficult levels of the game. This is the level that I spoke of earlier with the falling blocks. This level right here will definitely probably try my patience quite a bit. Right off the bat, we get the double shot. It's good. Hopefully, I won't die and lose it. But this level is pretty difficult, so I make no promises. Gotta wait for the acid to dissolve these blocks, and then we can maneuver over to the door. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, and that's even more unfortunate. Okay. We have some more acid that needs to dissolve some blocks here. And there should be some gargoyles that start to fly around right here. And we are getting very close to another falling block sequence. Should start right about here. Yep. Be very careful here, not to get ahead of ourselves. And what we can do here is we can actually switch to Alucard and fly up there and not wait for these blocks to fall. I need quite a few more hearts for the area that we were getting ready to come up on, where I will definitely need Alucard and hopefully get through and not die. Because if I die on the next falling block sequence, then I will have to do it the long way, which is I will have to wait for every block to fall. If you've ever played this game, you know what part I'm talking about. We should have enough hearts to deal with that part that I'm talking about, but the issue that I always have is getting hit on the way up. And if I get hit on the way up, then it's kind of all she wrote for me. And here we will have to fight this bat again. And he's a little tougher this time around. Extra life, that's good. This is actually a mid-boss, and here's the part that I was talking about. And if I cannot make this with Alucard, then I will have to wait for all these blocks to fall, and you have to make your way up the screen. And I'm already not doing well. So I'm just going to try to fly my way up here. Okay. And try to make my way up here. Okay, I made it, but I'm definitely not doing too good because my health is very low, and if I get hit, I think one time, I'm dead. And these spiders make it very difficult. Let's see if we can get up here without getting hit. And I got killed. Oh, that sucks. Okay, yeah. And just like I said, now it is a long waiting game. That's why it's very important not to get hit by any of these blocks, because the next checkpoint is a long way away, and if you die, it will bring you right back here, and you have to do this way, which is we will wait for all these blocks to fall until we can make it back up there. Which I can actually wait for about half of them to fall and then try to fly up again. The problem is when you die and it brings you back here, you only have 5 hearts. So. Give it a try, and okay, I made it. Now hopefully I won't die again, because if I do, then it's right back down there we go. Already taking damage. And now I know I have these birds up here to deal with. Okay, so we make it up here, and across these platforms there will be a door, which will be a checkpoint. And our difficulty has not stopped there. This level will keep going, and okay, here's a checkpoint. Here's another part where Alucard will come in handy. And I will, instead of taking those platforms across, you can just fly up here and instead of having to go all the way across and then back again. Watch out for these Medusa heads. And my whip upgrade fell. That sucks. Okay. Okay, so here's another checkpoint. And the screen above us will be another challenging part. and it will be the first scrolling screen that we've come to so far. Not only does the screen scroll, but we'll have these skeletons and gargoyles to deal with. That rosary really come in handy right there. And when we get up here, we want to take the staircase that will be to the left, because there will be a wall meat that we can get before fighting this level's bosses. It's actually a triple threat boss battle. Let me get rid of this Axe Knight first before we get the wall meat. Okay. Wall meat right here. There will be a triple boss battle here. A set of mummies first, then a cyclops, and then the Leviathan demon. And I'm not doing well. Still not doing well. Okay, now the cyclops. Okay. Okay. One more to go, which is the Leviathan demon, and he's very slow, but he will shoot fireballs. And okay, we got him. Whew, that one was close. Okay. Moving on to, we will finally enter the castle. And this area and the music will sound very familiar if you played the first Castlevania game. It is actually the first level of Castlevania 1. 3 levels to go. And here we go. Familiar vampire killer theme from Castlevania 1. And the boss of this level will be none other than Death himself. And I'm actually going to stop recording here and be on the lookout for part 2, which will be uploaded on my channel as well. So yeah, stay tuned for part 2, guys.